It's Melanie Hinds. I'm your fastest Iraqi Dinar summary on the net. My husband's in the office and talking, so I have to be aware that his phone doesn't overtake mine. So I hope this is okay for the recording. So listen, we went through typical stuff this morning. We did faith in the morning on my live stream, and then we went through all the details of the Iraqi Dinar. The most important is the digital dinar rate is, again, today, 192. I actually talked about where it is on Coinbase, how it's kind of hidden from the public, and that's by design because it runs their central bank system. Handle Forex on Coinbase is where this stable coin runs the entire banking system. And right now, we were told last summer when we heard about the digital dinar, which was around June 8th, we were told before they left Iraq in September, our Army Ranger contacts, they told us that they were getting 1-to-1. When they took their paper currency into the bank, they would get 1-to-1 for it. One paper dinar for one digital dinar. Right now, with the stable coin being 192, that bank can use the extra 0.92 to incentivize people to de-dollarize even more. Why? Because they say they want to be paper free by July. They want to be cashless by July. They want everybody in the digital system. Why? Because it's an anti-money laundering system. That's how they track the crooks. That's just the way the systems work. It's also the way the American systems are working. That's what the stablecoin agenda was for during the Genius Act, which was also last year. So guys, our military contacts, when they got on the Zoom, they said, Iraq is done. Our banks are done. They're all audited. They were just waiting for the American banks to catch up. The American banks are caught up. That's what the Clarity Act is about. So this could happen at any time. Do you believe? Comment down below. Do you believe? God told me to tell you over maybe 5 years ago that it was done. It's so I could prepare you. He told me, don't worry about the banks. It's going to be messy. Take the money and run. My 3 steps are teaching you how to do that. Not to worry about the banks, that it is messy. It gives you 3 different options of banks in America. If you live in another country, the same options are there. The bank's name changes. The banks are the same on the inside. You know, they all go up to the World Bank, the Bank of International Settlements, etc. They all go up to there. I think it's all being transitioning. They can change the leadership and leave the system intact. You need to understand that. There's a lot of theories that one's going to go down and replace for the other. What if they're both combining? I think they're combining and they can change the leadership. That's what's happening because they prosecute the people that are doing the bad things. So, and then they put in a system that's not so fallible to human flaws, like an agentic AI system. Guys, I know all of it because I'm in the AI. I use AI daily to build my channel. If you have any questions, you can get on a live stream. I'll be live every morning at 9. I did 3 lives yesterday. Go check those out. There's a lot of information in there. So like I've said and explained yesterday, there's a lot of misinformation right now. Oil falls on hopes of a wider Middle East ceasefire. The oil prices fell. It's interesting that the Iraqi oil is lower priced than anybody else's in the region right now. Kind of interesting because before it was the highest because they have the pipeline from the Al Fal port through Turkey and can therefore ship out of anywhere. The seas that are the opposite of the Hormuz, people think it's because of the Hormuz that they're priced. It's not. They have other options. Basra crude bucks global oil downturn. So the Basra heavy rose to 72.08 a barrel. The Basra medium is 74.18 a barrel. Brent crude is 97.04 a barrel. See what I mean? Like it bucks the global decline by the percentage. Like the Basra rose 5.64% because it was really low the other day. And I'm like, why is the price so low? So, so this is called confusion. It gets very muddy, and God said it's going to be messy. Again, my strategies tell you exactly how to take the money and run and what to say to do that. Gold gains as oil and dollar retreat. Yes, gold is up to 4,468.84 per ounce. They're saying it's going to go a lot bigger. Who's saying that? The brokers of gold. They're saying it's going to get higher because they want you to buy it at this high price. I don't buy things at a high price. I buy things at the lowest price I can get them. This is not financial advice. You do you, boo. U.S. IQD exchange rate stabilizes in Baghdad and climbs in Erbil. It's all about the same 154,000 Iraqi dinar per 100 U.S. dollars. That's typical. It hasn't revalued yet, but we're on the lookout for it any time with these new stable coins running things, these new legislation that said tokenizing everything. The banks want this. Everybody wants this. If you get on my channel, you can ask me questions and I can explain it greater. Basra is inaugurating Iraq's largest border crossing with Iran next week. So hopefully they'll be at peace by then, right? Because evidently they're working on it. But we don't know, and we won't know until it's all done. The messiness of this war could be when they slip this revaluation in. What do you think? I know Iraq's going to the U.S. this week. Maybe some of these articles of everybody else will talk about this. So here we go. We start our summary of everybody else. I cover everybody, guys, because I love and approve of everybody. We're all in the same boat. We all want the same thing. We all want to be able to get money for our dinar. So this is Jeff. The rate change itself does not get approved by their parliament. Laws that are created or amended get approved by Parliament and end up in the Gazette. The rate change has nothing to do with the government. It has to do with the banking division being the central bank. The rate change itself will never end up in the Gazette. I love that he's saying that because, again, it's all about the central bank, and I just told you what they're getting. Every time somebody puts some of their paper dinar in, there's incentives there. They can give it to the people. They can use it for advertising. They can use that extra 0.92 to fund an advertising campaign that's going to get more dollars off the street. That's what I think. Mark Z, via PDK comment, banking leaders from all over are headed to the U.S. and being told to raise their rates. Mark Z said, probably 20 are already here in the U.S. and already working on that. Exactly. You don't know when these people are coming in. Iraq is already here with some key folks. Thank you, Mark Z, for that. Almost the whole global south that are friendly with the U.S. are being pressured to raise their exchange rates in order to balance the playing field for trade. I have mentioned this before, that the U.S. is trying to pressure Vietnam to raise their exchange rate as it is way too artificially low. Exactly. And for those, if you hold the Vietnamese dong, put dong down below or put dinar. Just don't say how much you have, because this is a crazy environment here. Keep yourself safe. Only you can keep yourself safe. This is Bruce. We have been told a few days ago, I think it was Sunday, that we had notifications coming either Wednesday or Thursday. Thursday seems to be in play still. Thursday is the 4th. Could we get notified and get started setting appointments? Today's not over. What do you think? Guys, if this happens, I will go live no matter what I'm doing. I do have a private showing that I'm going to have dinner with my husband, but I always keep an eye on this. You know I'm good for it. I watch it all the time. I will go live and it says the time is now. That's the only way I'm going to go live again today, is if it is the time is now. I'm just saying. I hope it's the time is now. I'd love to go live tonight after my private showing. Newshound Guru Jeff, question, are we still among the belief that it is going to be 380? Jeff, yeah, I think it'll be somewhere in the vicinity of 380, give or take 10 or 15 cents. That's his perspective. We are of the perspective it's 481 because we have the 4X letters. I showed it to you yesterday on my live streams. You can go look there for it. Then you've got this Reset Intelligence. It's an interesting name, Reset Intelligence. Letting Iran-backed factions hold interior or defense is the one line Washington has drawn, and the prize Tehran still wants. So the cabinet was left half-built to avoid answering it. Parliament was meant to take up the rest after the Eid al-Adha break in late May. That break has passed, and the chairs are still empty. Al-Zadai is going after the factions, cash their rifles and their grip on the interior and defense at the same time, cut the money that buys the guns, takes the guns, and locks the gunsmen out of the ministries. And there is not much faction left to bargain with. The house is not clean yet, but for the first time in 22 years, you can see who is holding the broom. Isn't this an interesting time to be alive? Comment down below if you agree. It's an interesting time to be alive. Stephen, do you know you could negotiate the fees with your bank when the revolution happens? A lot of people don't know that. I know, guys. My 3 steps talk about negotiations with your banks. If you're talking about hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars, think about 3% going from 8% to 5%. Yeah, the banks can do anything they want if they think you're unknowledgeable. The banks have been doing that for years. Just look and see how they're fighting with the Clarity Act, right? Sandy Ingram, will the Central Bank of Iraq keep the value of the IQD low like Vietnam continues to do so, or will allow the value to decrease? I agree with Sandy. We don't know. That's why we're here, because we don't know. Therefore, we have to plan on many different levels to obtain and secure our IQD profits. So let me tell you this. I'm going to end this here because the rest is not relevant. And trust me, you don't want to hear what the others are saying because they're all repeating the same thing. I think we've covered the biggies. What I want to tell you is God told me to tell you this was done almost 5 years ago now. So if you're wondering how long, I've only been on YouTube 7 years. He told me about 5 years ago after he inspired me to go live and we started getting together knowing that we have things in common. I started doing the summaries because it was a need. Nobody else is summarizing everybody's content because maybe they have too much ego to do that. I don't. God has crushed me a lot since he called me out of corporate America and my corporate finance job to live here in Maine and build a business in direct sales, right? But I love it. I love doing this. So please subscribe, tap the bell, join me for more truth, facts, and optimism every day on the daily at 9 a.m. I'm the only one who does it. And also, please give me nice comments down below so I'm encouraged to do this summary every day, even when my husband's home. I love you. Have a good day. Bye.